Welcome to Instablog's Global Report. This is Sukhmani with fresh updates and more citizen voices from all over the world. Stories for the day are: North Korea calls Japan a war criminal state. Mexico faces water and sanitation problems. Nepal asks India to pay over $1 million in power dues. And Zilla Shumba, role model for women and girls in Malawi. North Korea has slammed Japan for being a war criminal state unsuited to become a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. The remark was made by Park Kil-yeon, North Korea's Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, at the 63rd General Assembly meet. CJ Zach Pena dismisses the North Korean remark and defends Japan's membership claims to the United Nations Security Council.
This is Zach Pena, citizen journalist reporting from Japan on Instablog. Both North Korea and Pakistan need to take a long, hard look at themselves before labeling Japan as a war criminal state. Japan has faced up to its past with consistent sincerity. It has also expressed its sense of remorse and apology many times over since the end of World War II. The very act of owning up for the carnage perpetuated during the war, in a way, absolves Japan of its wrongdoings and eases much of the bitterness between the nations it wronged. It's high time that both North Korea and Pakistan take a careful stock of their actions in the past. North Korean dictatorship is an openly proclaimed offender of human rights and holds the most shameful record for pauperizing an entire nation. Furthermore, Pakistan holds an irrefutable standing of a state that has sponsored terrorism for the past 2 decades. Today, the whole nation is paying dearly for the past follies of its leadership. Above everything else, both nations stubbornly refuse to admit fault for their acts. With regard to an esteemed membership to the UNSC, Japan should be taken into foremost consideration before these other 2 nations.
In the times when the whole world is heading towards water shortage, the government of Mexico is doing nothing to deal with the mammoth problem. Although healthcare has improved a lot, progress in developing water supply and sanitation has only been worked on paper. CJ Oscar Estrada has more on the deplorable state of water and sanitation system within Mexico.
This is Oscar Villanueva, citizen journalist from Mexico. The Mexican water and sanitation sector is characterized by poor technical and commercial efficiency of service provision, inadequate water and sanitation service quality, particularly concerning wastewater treatment, and inadequate coverage, in particular poorer rural areas. The government has chosen to ignore the groundwater has been siphoned of more than nature can replete. The government continued its unsustainable development by bringing more industries without sources to feed them. Similarly, in regard to sanitation, the importance of new wastewater treatment plants has been recognized, but no action has been made. The government needs to realize we need action, not recognition. Entire demographic areas have been forgotten and Mexico's rapid growth can no longer be sustained.
Nepal has asked India to clear the power bills accrued for past 4 months amounting to $1 million. India's border state of Bihar owes the money to Nepal, from whom it buys electricity for use in its Valmiki Nagar town. CJ Mukunda wants the issue to be raised at the ongoing talks between India and Nepal, instead with the government of Bihar.
This is Mukunda, citizen journalist from Nepal, reporting on Instablogs. Nepal needs to act tough with India, especially with the government in the state of Bihar. The Nepali government should immediately stop power supply to the Valmiki Nagar town in the India state of Bihar if it fails to clear the power bills accrued for the past 4 months amounting to 78 million Nepali rupees, which is over $1 million US. The corruption and lawlessness in Bihar has caused huge loss in neighboring regions of Bihar. The last month's Kosi flooding entirely resulted due to their negligence in repair and maintenance of the barrage, because of which Nepal had to pay a heavy price. The issue should be raised at the ongoing bilateral talks between India and Nepal, and not with good-for-nothing government of Bihar.
Zilla Shumba, Executive Director of CKK Building and Civil Contractors, a company hired by UNICEF Malawi to build new classrooms, is serving as a role model for girls and women in Malawi. She is much admired for her decision to employ women and provide support for her staff living with HIV/AIDS. CJ Tanti Soko praises Zilla Shumba for her novel initiative that inspires other women and girls in Malawi.
This is Tani Soko, citizen journalist reporting from Malawi on Instablogs. Zili Shumba, the executive director of CKK Building and Civil Contractors, a company hired by UNICEF Malawi, is a role model for girls and women in Malawi. The company is doing a commendable job of renovating school buildings essential to provide education, besides disseminating vital information for prevention of AIDS. The company, by employing as many women as possible, is not only giving hope but also socially and economically empowering women. The social situation of women in Malawi leaves them seriously disadvantaged in almost every sector of development compared with men. This is largely attributed to social attitudes entrenched in Malawi culture, which discriminates against women. Consequently, most women are subjected to severe and harsh living conditions. They also shoulder a higher percentage of responsibilities and manage heavy workloads in the community. Hope this symbolism of achievement inspires and generates many more Zile Shumbas.
If you want your voice to be heard by millions, let Instablogs be your choice. You can contact us at cj@instablogs.com. That's all for today's show. We'll be back with fresh updates and more citizen voices. Till then, it's goodbye from the entire team of Global Report.